relation of a father, a brother, a grandfather, an uncle, and to many of us, a dear friend. John Vennes was my dear friend. In fact, he's so bold as to say we were buddies. He was a remarkable gentleman, a humble guy, with a ready smile and a ever-present laugh. You'll be missed by many of us in this audience. And his children would like to talk a bit about their dad. So Patty and Kathryn and Dale are going to speak next. Patty.
A couple of years ago, my sister asked my father to start writing his history, and my father took it upon himself to complete this task, and so I'd like to read his history in his own voice for you today. We lived in the country about 3 miles west of Zoll and commuted via car or buggy. We moved to Zoll in about 1934 and lived within 2 blocks of the school. I don't remember competing with my older brothers, and I don't even remember my mother doing any comparisons. I never missed a day of school during the grades. During the years we lived in Zoll, my mother decided that all of the boys were to be confirmed in the Lutheran faith. I actually worked at the church, it was only a basement, as one who started the coal furnace to heat the building for Sunday church services. I don't ever remember being paid for this activity. I worked there at my mother's request, but the church assisted in providing some clothes.
Wild game was probably a good portion of the family's diet in those early years, and that part of the country had an abundant supply of it. After moving to Grand Forks in the late 40s, Dad continued to hunt for ducks and geese and pheasant in the surrounding areas. And there was a yearly trip out to Zoll for deer. Family and friends were always accompanying these trips. I remember some very cold nights, camping out, waking up to snow on the ground. We really had a great time out there. As time passed, the group may have gotten smaller, but the excitement about being out there was always something Dad looked forward to. Over the past 10 years, we haven't missed a trip to Zoll, and have always brought turkey and pheasant home for Christmas and Thanksgiving dinner.
A chance to dream. My father was an epic lucid dreamer, a genetic gift he passed on to the rest of his family. Yet, in his waking life, he would not call himself a visionary, but rather a facilitator. He would say that he created reality from the vision of those he worked with, paying careful attention to each step, monitoring each outcome. But as you may hear today, he did far more than that. He helped to build dreams, driven by his passion for knowledge, education, and his love of North Dakota. He would often say, we can be thankful if in this life we are able to create even one thing that we are proud of. He grew up as a shoeless child in the vast expanse of western North Dakota during the Depression. He shared his bed with 5 brothers and various Simex lectularius, the common bedbug. Yet he would speak of those days with a certain nostalgia, as though they became the standard by which the remainder of his life was judged. He remained a frugal man, but embraced great generosity while living a modest life. As a father, he nurtured our family with encouragement and undying faith in our own potential. He taught us the power of knowledge and the value of its acquisition. He has taken great care with each of his grandchildren, encouraging them to find their path and to use education to achieve it. In his work life, he employed the scientific method, but he never forgot the human factor. He strove to be observant, yet not unduly critical, to level judgment leading to the next step, but giving a wide berth for human frailty. As any good Norwegian would do, he chose to ignore rather than criticize and move on. He often said, life is too short to belittle. I learned diligence and economy of effort from him. Set your dreams, find your path, don't waste your effort. I learned moderation and frugality. Retain something in the bank for tomorrow. Yet I primarily learned through osmosis to be calm, evaluate, use logic, and employ the scientific method. He cared about many things throughout his life, but as he aged, he began to realize that family and friends were as precious as anything else he could achieve or acquire. He began to make small tokens of love for many people, and as you know, he has spread his silvercraft far and wide. And he lit up each time he spoke of making a piece and gifting it. Philosophically speaking, Dad was a scientist. Yet he has inadvertently created something more universal and far-reaching than personal experience beyond death. He has left a legacy that will touch the lives of many for years to come.
A bit about his faculty career. As you heard, he served on the faculty for 40 years. Eventually became chair of the Department of Microbiology and Immunology. He was the associate dean. He was the interim dean. He was asked to be dean by President Clifford and refused. After those 40 years, for the next 20, I'll call him the school historian. And I know that he really loved putting the book together and interviewing all the people who had a great deal to do with the success of it.
John and I have talked about over the years, and that I've gleaned from him. Being a psychologist, I did a lot of gleaning during our conversations. John loved his family, as is apparent. Patty and Dale and Kathryn, I know that you felt your father's love, but you may not have known that he did consider you and your families his greatest accomplishments in a life of many great accomplishments. He told me that the time that he spent with you during these past few years was probably the most wonderful gifts of his life. We talked about his brothers, lots of good stories there, his mother, his dad, and his dear Agnes. Each of you made John who he was. He loved his friends. There were so many friends that John had in his long life, but I'm just going to mention a few.